Well, after disappointing midterm election results for Republicans, GOP leaders across the nation are revisiting their stance on mail-in voting. In closely watched battleground state of Pennsylvania, top Republican lawmakers have been vowing to eliminate no-excuse mail-in voting. But after GOP nominee Dr. Oz lost a key Senate race to Democrat John Fetterman in a legal battle over undated or incorrectly dated mail-in ballots, right-wing leaders are reconsidering embracing this voting method. Joining us now for a closer look, Niall Stanage, a White House columnist with our partners at The Hill. Niall, thanks for being here.
Good to be here, Natasha.
In this effort to strategize for the 2024 election, many Republicans looking to blame former President Trump, establishment leaders in Congress, or even the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade for the midterms. But could it be their hesitance to support mail-in voting that actually hurt them the most?
It could certainly be an issue, perhaps one issue among many. And Republicans who I talk to here in Washington do have concerns about this. The problem here is that particularly during the Trump presidency, a Republican narrative took root that early voting was in some way dodgy or shady. That, naturally enough, has discouraged Republicans from casting their votes early. Now, actually, those votes do count. The early vote now tilts heavily Democratic, which it did not do about 10 years ago. And that has given Democrats an advantage because there's a very clear advantage to early voting. You cast your ballot whenever you like within the early voting period, and you know that counts. You're not, in danger of something unexpected happening when you were intending to vote on election day and you're not getting to a polling place. So that's the fundamental problem.
Well, and the biggest argument from Republicans against mail-in ballots is the potential for voter fraud. Is that a valid concern?
No, is the short answer. I mean, there's no reason to suppose that that is a valid concern. There have been academic studies done on this. I don't have them to hand right now, but the percentage of votes that are in some way fraudulent or questionable is almost infinitesimally small. So mail-in ballots do, in fact, count. And, there have been issues occasionally raised about so-called ballot harvesting and so on. There isn't evidence that that is used in a widespread basis to, in some way, falsify results.
With the Republican reliance on Election Day turnout, does it seem that one party basically votes for 30 days and then one party votes for one? And if it's thought about like that, is that just a losing strategy?
I think a number of people are making the argument that it is a losing strategy, and that includes, conservative-leaning places like, for example, the Wall Street Journal's editorial page, the sort of voice of respectable conservatism. If you look at this in purely mathematical terms, Natasha, about 1/3 of the vote cast in the midterm elections was cast early. According to an analysis by the Los Angeles Times, that early vote skewed heavily Democratic. 55% approximately of those early voters were Democrat, 35% were Republican. Obviously, that gives Democrats a sizable cushion going into Election Day. And that's why we're seeing people like Ron DeSantis or Nikki Haley arguing that Republicans simply have to get better at this and have to change their stance on early voting. Otherwise, they're going to suffer electoral handicaps as a result.
Yeah, and continuing to talk numbers, Democrats use votes by mail significantly more than Republicans. In Pennsylvania, for example, Fetterman receiving 960,000 votes by mail. His opponent, Dr. Oz, taking a fraction of that, 234,000 about. What does that tell us about how voting habits have evolved?
It tells us that Republicans are much more reluctant to cast ballots by mail, but it also tells us that there is a risk of Republicans getting caught behind the 8 ball when it comes to Election Day itself. They are dependent on driving turnout to the maximum possible level then, and all kinds of things can happen on Election Day, not just, things that happen to individual voters, but there can be incredibly bad weather that is a disincentive for people to vote. There are all sorts of things that can be problems on Election Day that are not a problem if you get your ballot in before then.
All right, Niall Stanage, always appreciate the context. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.